It's 11 p.m. in a Walmart parking lot outside Phoenix, Arizona. The store has closed. The lights dim. But dozens of vehicles remain scattered across the asphalt. Sedans. Minivans. Aging SUVs with fogged windows and curtains drawn from the inside. By morning, they'll be gone. Vanished before sunrise. Before anyone notices. Inside these vehicles, families sleep. Single mothers. Veterans. Full-time workers who can't afford rent. They are America's invisible homeless. And their numbers are exploding. The hidden crisis by the numbers. On a single January night in 2024, federal officials counted 771,480 homeless Americans. The highest number ever recorded in U.S. history. But here's what that number doesn't capture. Between 2023 and 2024, homelessness surged by 18% nationwide. Within that surge, a specific category grew even faster: the unsheltered. People living outside the traditional shelter system. In tents. Under bridges. And increasingly, inside their cars. From San Diego to Seattle, Los Angeles to Phoenix, cities are reporting dramatic spikes in vehicle dwelling. In some West Coast metros, the increase over 2 years has reached 60%. Yet these figures likely represent only a fraction of the real crisis. Homelessness counts happen once a year, on a single night in January. They miss people couch surfing. Staying temporarily with relatives. Rotating between motel rooms and parking lots. People who work during the day and sleep in their cars at night, but never appear in official statistics. Researchers estimate that for every person counted as homeless, several more slip through undetected. This isn't the homelessness of popular imagination. No street corners. No cardboard signs. No visible encampments. This is a silent migration. One where wheels replace walls. Where parking lots become neighborhoods. Where the only address is a license plate. The economic architecture of displacement. The rent trap. To understand why cars have become homes, you need to understand what happened to housing in America. Over the past 5 years, rent in major metro areas has climbed at rates far exceeding wage growth. In cities like Austin, Miami, Phoenix, and Portland, average rents increased by 30 to 50% between 2019 and 2024. For someone working minimum wage, or even slightly above it, the math has become impossible. A one-bedroom apartment in most urban areas now requires an income 2 to 3 times what service jobs provide. Evictions, which paused briefly during the pandemic, have returned to pre-2020 levels. But unlike previous eras, those evicted today face a market with virtually no affordable alternatives. They leave behind rental debt, damaged credit, and a blacklist that disqualifies them from future leases. The supply crisis. The United States faces a shortage of millions of affordable housing units. Not luxury apartments. Not market-rate condos. But housing accessible to low and moderate-income families. This shortage isn't accidental. Decades of policy choices favored development for higher income brackets. Zoning laws restricted density. Investment capital flowed toward profit, not affordability. Meanwhile, wages stagnated. Inflation climbed. And millions of working Americans found themselves earning too much to qualify for assistance, but too little to afford stability. The shelter system's limitations. For those who lose housing, the shelter system offers limited refuge. Many shelters prohibit pets, a deal-breaker for people whose animals are family. Others enforce strict curfews incompatible with shift work or gig economy schedules. Some separate families. Others lack space entirely, with waitlists stretching weeks or months. And in growing numbers of cities, laws actively criminalize vehicle dwelling. Parking bans, anti-camping ordinances, fines for sleeping in your car. The result? For many, the car becomes not a choice, but the only option. A shelter that moves. That doesn't require approval. That can't be foreclosed. But one that offers no electricity, no plumbing, no safety, and no dignity. Lives on four wheels. Maria's story. Maria is 34. She works 2 part-time jobs. One at a grocery store. One cleaning offices at night. 3 months ago, her landlord raised her rent by $400. She couldn't pay. She lost the apartment. Now, every evening after her second shift ends, she drives her 9-year-old daughter to a 24-hour gym parking lot. They brush their teeth in the gym bathroom. They change into pajamas in the back seat, curtains drawn. Her daughter does homework by flashlight. Maria sets an alarm for 5:30 a.m. so they can leave before other gym members arrive. At school, her daughter tells no one. At work, Maria smiles, makes small talk, lives as if nothing has changed. She is not addicted to drugs. She is not mentally ill. She simply cannot afford rent in the city where she works. David's story. David is 62. A Navy veteran. He survives on Social Security and a small VA disability check. 2 years ago, his rent increased beyond what his fixed income could cover. Medical bills from a fall pushed him further into debt. Now he lives in a 15-year-old SUV parked behind a shopping center. He keeps his clothes in plastic bins. He charges his phone at the library. He showers at a community center twice a week. At night, wrapped in blankets, he listens to talk radio. Watches headlights pass. Wonders how he ended up here after serving his country for 2 decades. Tyler's story. Tyler is 29. He works as a delivery driver for a gig app. When the algorithms changed and his earnings dropped, he couldn't make rent. No family to fall back on. No savings cushion. He sleeps in his van now. Parks in different spots each night to avoid police. Eats fast food. Uses gas station bathrooms. For Tyler, the car isn't rock bottom. It's survival. No rent means no debt. No landlord means no eviction. The van is freedom in the narrowest, cruelest sense. The common thread. These aren't outliers. They're patterns. Across America, thousands share similar stories. Full-time workers. Parents. Seniors. People caught not by addiction or crime, but by an economic system that prices stability out of reach. Experts warn that hidden homelessness creates cascading crises. Isolation deepens. Mental health deteriorates. Chronic health conditions go untreated. Children's development suffers. And because these people remain invisible, the help never comes. A national geography of desperation. California, Oregon, and Washington have long struggled with high housing costs. Now they lead the nation in vehicle-dwelling populations. Los Angeles County alone is estimated to have tens of thousands of people living in cars and RVs. San Diego has seen vehicle homelessness spike by more than 50% since 2022. Seattle's safe parking programs report wait lists that exceed capacity by triple. The Sun Belt surge. But this is no longer just a coastal crisis. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Austin, Miami, cities that once promised affordability, are now seeing explosive growth in car-living populations. Jobs drew people in. Then rents climbed. And suddenly, workers who relocated for opportunity found themselves priced into vehicles. Suburban invisibility. Increasingly, vehicle dwellers migrate to the outskirts. Exurban areas. Industrial parks. Commuter town parking lots. They work in the city. Sleep outside it. Move constantly to avoid detection. The crisis is everywhere. And nowhere. Diffuse. Distributed. Hidden in plain sight. Safe parking, a fragile solution. Some cities have experimented with safe parking programs. Designated lots where people can park overnight legally. Access to restrooms. Security. Case management. Connections to housing services. Early data shows these programs reduce crime, improve health outcomes, and restore dignity. But they're underfunded. Underscaled. A few hundred spaces in cities with thousands in need. A lifeline. But not a solution. The human cost of living in motion. Health in freefall. Without stable shelter, basic health collapses. No consistent place to shower. No refrigeration for medication. No safe space to rest and recover from illness. Sleep deprivation becomes chronic. Stress-related conditions spiral. Untreated infections worsen. Diabetes, hypertension, mental illness, all exacerbated by instability. Mental health in the shadows. Living in a car means living in constant fear. Fear of police. Fear of harassment. Fear of theft. Fear of someone discovering your secret. Isolation intensifies. Depression deepens. Anxiety becomes unmanageable. Many describe it as psychological warfare. Every knock on the window. Every flashlight in the night. Every stranger's stare. Childhood in a back seat. For children growing up in cars, the damage compounds. Disrupted schooling. No space for homework. No stability for friendships. Trauma that shapes development in ways that echo across lifetimes. Studies show that children experiencing homelessness face higher rates of learning disabilities, behavioral issues, and long-term economic hardship. Working while homeless. Perhaps the cruelest irony, many of America's invisible homeless work full-time. They deliver your packages. Clean your offices. Serve your food. Stock your shelves. They hold jobs. Pay taxes. Contribute to the economy. But they can't afford a home in the economy they serve. Why America looks away. Official homelessness counts are designed to undercount. A single night in January. Volunteers walking predetermined routes. Surveys that miss anyone staying temporarily with friends, rotating motels, or parking in unpredictable locations. The methodology guarantees invisibility. Meanwhile, shame keeps people hidden. Many fear judgment. Losing custody of children. Losing jobs if employers discover they live in cars. They blend in. Maintain appearances. Suffer silently. Cities, rather than addressing root causes, criminalize symptoms. Anti-camping laws. Parking restrictions. Ordinances that make it illegal to sleep in your vehicle. The result? People aren't helped. They're moved. Pushed from block to block, parking lot to parking lot, invisible and exhausted. At the same time, housing policy rewards investors over residents. Corporate landlords buy up properties. Rents rise. Supply shrinks. And working families lose ground. If nothing changes, America's invisible homeless will become a permanent underclass. Mobile. Unhoused. Uncounted. Unhelped. Pathways out of the crisis. Solutions exist. But they require political will. Safe parking programs. Expand them. Fund them properly. Provide security, hygiene facilities, and case management. Cities like Sacramento, San Jose, and Seattle have proven these work when adequately resourced. Affordable housing at scale. Ease restrictive zoning. Incentivize development of low-income units. Implement rent stabilization. Build mixed-income communities. This isn't radical. It's basic housing policy that worked for decades before being dismantled. Tenant protections. Strengthen eviction controls. Provide legal representation for tenants. Stop the pipeline that funnels people from housing into vehicles. Support for the working poor. Living wages. Expanded mental health services. Childcare assistance. Policies that acknowledge work should provide stability, not just survival. National recognition. Treat vehicle dwelling not as a crime, but as a humanitarian crisis. One that demands empathy, investment, and systemic reform. Tonight, across America, thousands will sleep in cars. They'll wake before dawn. Drive to work. Shower at gyms. Smile at colleagues. Live double lives. They are not statistics. Not stereotypes. Not fringe cases. They are teachers. Veterans. Delivery drivers. Parents. Grandparents. They are the working poor, betrayed by a system that treats housing as investment rather than necessity. This crisis will not solve itself. Markets will not self-correct. Compassion will not spontaneously emerge. Change requires choice. Policy. Pressure. Recognition that in the wealthiest nation on earth, no one should have to call a parking lot home. The invisible homeless are everywhere. The question is, how much longer will we pretend not to see them?